Hey guys, it's me Mr. 250, and welcome back to Tales of Arise. So, last time we had started the game and had gotten into this little town trying to get into this, I guess, castle fortress thing right up here. And we left off with this side quest thing. Let me see if I can remember any of the controls. There we go. So far I'm not really having any problem with the keyboard and mouse controls so far. And considering that I'd have to go dig out my controller again, I'm going to stick with them for now unless they really aggravate me, but so far they seem fine. Now let's see. I think it was Field Guide. Somewhere in Field Guide. Sub, there we go. Crimson Crows at Sanidus Ravine. Do we have... Okay, I was going to say, do we have a map screen? We do. I don't know what the regular button for that is, but pressing M works just fine on a keyboard. Now this... Okay, I see. So Sandus Ravine, we were looking this way, so we take like a left and go out of town that way. Which I think is the way we came in. Yeah. You really don't get a lot of time to read that. Oh yeah, so I'd actually gone back and looked.
An opponent like this should be easy. You're finished.
Using the arts is probably going to be the weird part. So I'd gone back and looked at some of the recent games like Berseria and Zestiria. Clearly, it's been some time since I've played them. I completely forgot that, like, the last two games, they basically did away with like, TP as a thing. And they did this, little diamond thing that we have above our health bar down there.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
So, this is actually a pretty normal thing for the past couple of games. I just always kind of... I know I haven't played Tales since, like, the beginning, but... I've played Tales since, you know, Vesperia days, more or less. Mostly consistently. And, that was, like, a big thing in that game, you know, where TP, magic points, all that sort of stuff. But it hasn't been a thing in the past couple of games. And so I guess it's not so weird that it wasn't a part of this one either. And I was right, the battlefield thing, where they transport you to a separate battlefield. They didn't do that in the last game, but still going with my somewhat complaint, you know, you couldn't have a path this thin in the other games because your battlefield would be like this wide. So
we're so high up.
It helps up. It helps up, helps out in some ways.
What? They're all dead? How did this happen?
Soldiers, that's how.
Are you Iron Mask?
I don't see who else is wearing an iron mask around here.
Yeah, I am. Dairon sent me to help. Hang in there.
It's too
I'm so
late
glad
for
you made
us.
it. In the bushes over there. You'll...
Hang on. Xion, do something.
He's already gone. It's too late for him.
It's no use. He's already dead.
Damn them. They've killed so many of us, and it's still not enough. They won't be satisfied until they've wiped us all out like pests.
He mentioned something about those bushes. We should check them.
Is this A cooking pot? But what is it doing here?
If I had to guess, he put it there to make sure a Renan wouldn't steal it.
So even though he knew he was dying, he chose to use the last of his strength to hide it, believing somebody would come for it. I guess you think it's stupid getting killed over a silly trinket, huh?
No. Clearly he risked his life for something he believed in. I would never mock someone for that. However, it will be up to us to figure out the purpose behind his dying act.
We'll make sure it wasn't in vain. If nothing else, this proves that the Renans can be outsmarted. We'll carry out your will, and see it through to the end.
Then we'd better get going. We don't know when those soldiers might be back to make another sweep of the area.
So this is what it means to fight the Renans.
Sounds like you're kind of scared to me.
Of course I am. But if I'm gonna die one way or another, I'd rather go down fighting.
Sorry, I saw a thing on the map. This campfire, I was trying to figure out what it was, and then I realized. So are we trying to give our character a little bit of motivation here? Sorry, I saw shiny. Trying to give our character some motivation. You killed my family, therefore you must die, or something. I felt like we had a pretty good motivation as it was. Being imprisoned is never, you know, a great experience. That was sort of what they did in the last game, Berseria. It really is quite an interesting visual style, isn't it? Very different. I do get a little bit of pop-in that comes in. You can kind of see it on the screen. When it loads the different level of textures, although I have to say, with the stylistic choice that they made, the difference between this far-out texture, I'm kind of looking at this rock above his head, more or less. The difference of the far-out texture versus the closer texture is really not that noticeable. There's like a few more shadows, maybe. And I guess if I looked at the far-out texture up close, I would probably notice it a little more. But, I guess that's all. I mean, that's, you know, a good thing about a lot of games is having that visual graphic style where you can get away with, you know, a game like, you know, Wind Waker, for example, a game that feels like it's aged very well because the graphic style, even though it's in standard definition, doesn't really look bad. Oh, so nobody made it, huh? I'm sorry, if we'd arrived a little sooner, we could have... Hey, these things happen. It hurts, but this is the world we live in. I'll take good care of what you brought back. It's the only way we can respect the sacrifice of those we've lost. When's Daddy Oh no, that's the guy's kid. Not yet, sweetie. Your dad's gone away for a while, and... Don't lie to me. He's dead, isn't he? You know, whenever grown-ups look sad and say someone's gone, they always mean they're dead. Daddy always warned me this might happen one day. He told me to stay strong and be brave. So This isn't right. Poor kids shouldn't have to be dragged into our own mess. Let's report back to Nath. Nath? And then get ready to fight. Hey, look, we actually have some money now. Okay. Ah, okay. So this is kind of interesting. Oh, I do have, let me turn this back on. I did have the Steam overlay turned off. Let me turn that on so you can see achievements. Not that it matters much, but, you know, just so you know what I'm seeing. Anyway, titles. Okay, so the titles were in previous games. And I know that in some games, the titles were largely, I don't know what you call it, cosmetic, maybe? Though I have seen they've done in some games where some of the titles end up giving you special moves or, you know, special things. So it looks like they may do the same thing here as well. You can spend SP to learn arts and skills. I think this was a thing that they did in Exilia. I don't necessarily remember specifically, because I remember Exilia had this big, like, ring, like, spiderweb looking thing almost. Probably more like rings than spiderwebs, but that's what comes to mind. I don't remember if the last two games did, but this looks like it's a similar sort of thing. It was kind of cool, actually, in Exilia. I liked it. Alright. So you can spend your SP, which is kind of cool. So if you want to go for a particular kind of arts, for example, ones with certain elements, you know, that's kind of cool. I feel like these additional, like the arts are cool, don't get me wrong, those are kind of neat. But the new skills are kind of cool too. Increased AG is also pretty neat. So we have counter edge. Let's see this one. Okay, I didn't mean to actually exit that, but we'll look at that more in a minute. Skill panel, okay. Let's go with... We'll go with mid-air evasion. Allows you to dodge once while in mid-air. That, I think, will be pretty helpful. And then learn skills. Okay. That's a pretty cool one. We'll probably want to save up for that. That's obviously quite expensive, but that's a pretty cool one. What did they say? Yeah, notification. I don't quite understand. I think I did it. Increase near-death attack. Okay, so you do more damage when you're near death. Fair enough. Yeah, we'll definitely want to save up for that thing as well. Is that press Alt? Is that the wrong Alt? Is it the other Alt? Oh, I see. It's just like this overlay thing. Okay. Thought I was doing something wrong.
Something happened.
This place here is our hideout. Yeah, you. That's who I'm speaking to. Nath, I think.
You're back, huh? Sounds like it was a real ordeal out there. Much as I hate to admit it, there aren't many of us who can take on those Renan armored soldiers. All we can do is make sure we remember those who sacrificed their lives for the cause.
Yeah, they won't be forgotten.
Glad to hear it. Now, what was that favor you wanted to ask me?
Oh, right. Well, you see...
So then, you're wondering if I know of any places where you can find Renan equipment, huh? Anywhere with those damn bright eyes is gonna have tight security, of course. You can't just go carelessly poking around. Unless... Across the wilderness outside Ulzebek, you'll find the Fagan ruins.
I figured, yeah.
There's some kind of old Renan castle out there. What with it being impenetrable, I forgot. But with a Renan tagging along, who knows? Maybe you can find some way in. You ask me, though, it's a lot of trouble for some Ren in rags. If I were you, I'd get comfortable with Dan in garbs.
Those look like the ruins. Let's move.
Are we really going in there?
Yes, now let's move.
Hey, Shion, where does your gun come from?
What do you mean, where does it come from?
When you're fighting, it looks like it just appears out of nowhere.
Oh, that's transferal technology. When I don't need my weapon, I submerge it in empty space. And when I do, I summon it. Make sense?
Not really, but it sounds pretty amazing.
Huh?
Well, that way you don't have to carry around any heavy weapons or worry about enemies trying to steal them, right? It's a pretty cool invention.
You realize you're praising the technology of your enemies, right?
So, technology is technology. It's not good or bad in and of itself.
I guess that's true.
And more importantly, if we could use something like that, I'm sure that would be helpful. Yeah, I figured out this way was going to be where we'd go. They mentioned that there were like stray Zeugles or wild feral Zeugles or something out here, so I figured we'd probably end up going this way at some point. Man, you gotta read those tooltips fast. There's loading screen
really
tips.
Doing this for some lousy cloak. There's Zeugles here too?
Yeah, we were told this.
Hey!
Should always assume there's Zeugles anywhere you go. One of the reasons I need you all. We're a team after all, and that means you need to pull your weight. So when I call for you, I expect you to clear out any enemies around me. Why do I have to do all the... In exchange, when you call for me, I promise I'll shoot down any enemies around you too. Sound fair?
Right.
If you don't get in the habit of speaking up during fights, that'll impact morale and our ability to combo together. So make sure to do it often, got it?
Just a minute.
Looks like the enemy spotted us. Time to get to work. You don't have to tell me that. Boost. Can summon allies. Once the boost gauge is full, corresponding 1, 2, 3, 4, direction to execute. It probably was on, like, the D-pad or something on controller, I would guess. 1, 2, 3, or 4, these moves can be followed up with more attacks afterwards and restore AG when used. The boost gauge builds up automatically over time, landing at attacks and counter edges. Okay. Okay, so that's like a stumble attack or something.
With that blade and your strength, the average Zeugle shouldn't be a problem, right?
I'll give it a shot.
Mega Ray!
Rising Wyvern! You picked the wrong fight.
I see.
Mega Ray!
Oh, I see at the bottom.
Rising Wyvern! You picked the wrong fight.
You're mine!
There we go. And that staggers
You're
them.
mine.
They've got me surrounded.
Our numerous beams of light from the muzzle of Shion's rifle. Okay, so that also seems like a bit of a knockdown. But maybe good against flying enemies.
One more!
Flyers!
This one's mine. I'll shoot them down. If it's in the sky, it's mine.
No escape!
Where are you going?
That looks cool. I didn't really get a good look at it, but
This one's... Where are you going?
yeah, that looks cool. I like that. Okay.
If it's in the sky,
Take
it's
this.
mine.
Eat dirt!
I never miss.
You're mine! You're finished!
There. Go.
Rising
You're
Wyvern!
mine.
Crush! You're mine! It's on!
Mega Ray.
Eat dirt!
Eat dirt.
Take this!
I'm only getting... Where are you going?
Oh, yep, you got him.
Take
You're finished.
Help this. Mega Ray.
It's on! You're finished!
I'm only getting started.
You picked the wrong fight!
Mega Ray. I'm ready.
Here I come!
Yeah, that is actually quite effective.
There. Got you. Mega
Here I
Ray.
come!
The only thing I don't like is trying to trigger the R, E, and F at the bottom right, the arts, is a little weird. Maybe I'll get used to it, but it's a little weird on keyboard. Looks like you got the hang of it, but don't let it go to your head. Those are the easy ones. I know, I know. I guess it's sort of a thing,
Looks like it could be worth something.
yeah. It's sort of the thing when you use a controller, for example, in like a first-person kind of game, where your left control stick controls your movement and the right controls your like your aim or the camera movement. You can't press face buttons like A, B, X, and Y while also moving your camera. Whereas with this, I can move my camera that's like dedicated because it's my mouse, but I can't walk and push those buttons at the same time. At least I can't walk right without adjusting my hand, and that's weird.
You can hardly see anything from here.
Why don't we climb up higher and see if we can get a better view?
Sure.
Get lost!
Here I come! You're finished! Eat dirt!
Oh yeah, you got him.
Mega ray!
Oh yeah, we can try out our air dodge.
Come and face me!
Mine!
I think that'll end up being quite useful. That's a good one to get.
Mirage!
This one's mine!
You're mine!
That ends up being quite effective too, when you combo like that.
Rising
I'm
Wyvern!
only getting started!
Mirage! Take this!
Take it! I'm only
Here I
getting
come!
started!
You're finished! Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
There! Go! I'm only getting started!
Here I come! You're finished! Great!
I'll have to get used to that over time. I'm kind of right now button mashing a little bit because I'm still trying to get used to it, but it'll make more sense. And once again, this could be a controller thing that works a lot better, so if it seems like I'm struggling, I might go and grab a controller. But as of right now, I am sort of in a...
What's this thing?
not moving necessarily, like I have moved, but I have a lot of stuff packed up right now that's not really coming out for a while, so I would have to look for it for quite a while.
So these are the Fagin ruins? How'd you figure a place like this turns derelict?
Your guess is as good as mine. I didn't even know this place existed until we heard about it. All that matters to me is whether I can find anything to wear in there.
Why does she care so much about her appearance?
Oh, that's why we're going over here. I was kind of wondering about that. I kind of forgotten. I think anytime we see these little wooden platforms, that's telling me I can jump off in that location. Seems to be fairly restrictive in where it'll allow you to jump off at. Alright, we got a crystal down here. This place truly does suck with all this fire everywhere, like just stuff like fire and brimstone eternally burning and all. Don't mind me. Oh jeez, it's a lot.
No choice. Take this. Come one, come two.
Mine.
Slash. You're mine.
Here's a
Rising
healing
Wyvern.
art.
It's over. That buzzing is driving me mad.
Here I go.
Here I come.
Mega ray.
We got flyers.
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
I'm not done. All yours. Mirage.
Help this. Mega ray.
It's
That
over.
little annoying beeping noise that you hear
Finish.
Here I go.
is I think when you push
Rising Wyvern.
a button and it says like you can't do that.
Take
Where
this.
are you going?
It's time.
This is it.
Rising
Here I
Wyvern.
go. You're blind.
Swallow blade. You're
Here I
mine.
go.
It's enjoyable so far. I
Our
like
work
the
is
combat
done.
here.
Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
And I feel like they're definitely going to be probably fleshing it out more than this, but so far it's got a good base to it. That Poppin is awfully distracting, though. He does it, like... He does it a lot, honestly. You'll just be looking at cliff walls, and they'll just start, like, loading and unloading. That wall texture right there, like, I don't even look at it necessarily, but when it completely changes texture, like, look at the doorway right there. I'm kind of... I know this doesn't matter that much, but just look at it. The texture changes entirely. That's weird. It's not just like a slightly lower res version of the texture, you know?
Let's dispose of the trash.
I'm not done! You picked the wrong fight! Rising Wyvern! Take this! Mirage!
Here I go! Insects should stay on the ground.
You're finished! Damn it!
There! Try
Take
this
this!
again!
You're finished!
Here's a healing art! First aid!
I'm not done!
There!
Rising Wyvern!
Magna Ray! Let the marksman
You're
handle
mine!
this. Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without
can't lay
you
a finger on
reminding me. I prefer it that way. What about you?
Just watch and see.
Here I come! It's over!
Here I go!
Rising Wyvern! I'm not done! Mirage!
Magna Ray!
You're mine!
The battle chatter's pretty cool, too. I wonder if it might
Still got
get...
a ways to go.
Yeah. It might get old after a while, but for the time being, it's pretty neat to have them just kind of talking a little bit during the battles. Not that they haven't in previous games, but it feels, at least to me, it feels a little more organic. Is the best word I can come up with at this moment. This large golem, is he another, like, boss kind of enemy? Oh, no, I think he's just a regular guy we fought. They told me to not fight him before, but yeah.
I'm not done! Rising Wyvern! You escape!
Sighted. I'm only getting
You're
started.
mine! Rising Wyvern! Here I come!
Magna Ray!
Yep, that air dodge is pretty helpful.
You're mine!
Here I go!
You're finished!
You're mine!
Oh, camera, where are we going?
Here I go! It's over!
You're mine!
It's weakened!
It's on! This ends now! Rising Wyvern!
Magna Ray!
Strike! Mirage!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
A lot of bees up here.
Right, here goes! You're
Go
mine!
find someone else to pick on!
Slash! Swallow Blade!
There! One
Take
more!
this!
Hey, where are you going?
Strike!
Magna Ray!
Her move has a really good ability to kind of get a crowd in there. So, if we can get her to attack a whole crowd here,
I'm only getting
that would be pretty helpful.
Rising Wyvern! I'm not done!
Sighted. You're mine!
It's over!
Because she, I mean, like, that move hits a large portion of the battlefield.
Slash! Swallow Blade!
Here I go! You're mine!
You're mine! It's over!
Sighted. Let the marksman. Barely a blip on our radar.